ask you, what do you think is more important, your relationship with God or your relationship with others? I want to see a little bit of comments in this section. Everybody, it's Tamar Rothenberg in Miami, and I'm going to talk about Parashat by Hanan. Important to know because there is a distinction of the book of Barim, the book of repetitions, with the stories or the speech that Moshe is saying, this inspirational speech that he's saying to Am Israel before entering the land. The last parasha we talk about Emunah, not to have fear, to trust Hashem, that we have to trust before entering the land, and all the let's say the wrongdoings that the Jewish people had, the histories of the spies and the judges and the doubts of Moshe itself that had, and not to be that, to trust more in Hashem. And this time we're talking about the Ten Commandments. Why? Because and also Mount Sinai, because it's like, well, first before you get married, you are afraid, you don't know the person, and then once you know the person, you know their values, you want to get married to the person. Then we get married to Hashem in Mount Sinai, and we have a commitment, and we have a covenant, and we have the Ten Commandments, and it's very important to respect that relationship. So I think that's this message of this parasha, the respect of the relationship and the love that Hashem can give us once we have that respect. In the Ten Commandments, we see the two tablets, and I know we talk about the Commandments in the previous parasha where we talk about the Mount Sinai, etc. But it's very important to say that there are two types of commandments. One is the relationship with us and God, and the other one is the relationship with us and our peers, right? And our family and men to men. And it's equally important for Hashem, and that's why we separate into tablets, because it's equally important for Hashem, the relationship with Him and the relationship with our peers, with our community, with our family. Why is equally important? Because that doesn't matter that I pray, I have a relationship with Hashem if I only will think about myself. Hashem wants us to collaborate with each other, to help each other, and to be united. And that's equally important. Not both things are separated. We have to have both balance, but we have to keep that. And I think one of the certain tablet is connected to the other one in the same way, but we have to have those boundaries, and we have to have that respect in order to have a successful relationship. And that's very key before entering the land, because we know that Hashem will be there with us. We don't have fear. We have Emunah, let's say, and then we enter, and we have to work on that relationship in our land, because otherwise it wouldn't work out. We think we can control things. We think we can make our own parnasa, our own things. We don't see God so often, and we tend to forget. And that's why we have to repeat the stories again, and we have to repeat the boundaries, and we have to keep those boundaries and keep those laws that are very important for us to live with each other. And it's very important nowadays as well, because that's why it's so important for us to pray together for something to happen. I've seen in these recent weeks the praying together is a miracle. Like, we can create miracles for praying together for people that are sick, for people that are kidnapped, for people that are suffering. Our prayers work because we're doing it united, and Hashem is looking for that union and looking for that praying, those prayers that we do as a community, and how we can help each other, and how we can volunteer, and how, instead of thinking so much about us, but it's also not one on another. We have to have a balance. We have to keep our families too. We have to keep ourselves happy too. We cannot do any of the extremes. That's why the balance compensates the two tablets, and the importance of having that in order to be ready to enter the land and to live the land, because otherwise we are not going to survive the right way that Hashem wants us to survive. And that's the key of this speech. These speeches are designed to do that, and are designed that Moshe wants us to be reminded of our core values, and the core values are essentially to our day-to-day life. So it's very, very important. And very important nowadays too. Not only when we're entering the land, how do we live with our core values every single day? How do we teach those values to our kids and our children? How do we teach those values to other religions and other people? And constantly thinking about how you can behave better, how can you be better, how can you improve yourself? Because otherwise, if you stay the same, it's not good for your soul, and it's not good for others as well. So this is a beautiful message. I want to wish you Shabbat Shalom, and see you next week.